My name is Dontez Lindsay. I am the general manager of Dux Trading LLC, as well as the lead trainer of StockCraft. I'm not a financial advisor, nor a CPA, and the content I create is for entertainment and educational purposes only. I trade in my account, and everything I do is hypothetical in nature because it doesn't happen in your account. My experience with trading is not typical, nor does it guarantee that similar results will be obtained by you. I am merely sharing my opinion with no guarantee of gains or losses in investments. Remember, day trading can be extremely risky. You should be prepared to lose all the funds that you use for day trading. In particular, you should not fund day trading activities with retirement savings, student loans, second mortgages, emergency funds, funds set aside for purposes such as education or home ownership, or funds required to meet your living expenses. Further, certain evidence indicates that investments less than $50,000 will significantly impair the ability of a day trader to make a profit. Of course, an investment of $50,000 or more will no way guarantee a success. With that out of the way, let's get into the content. There we go. I was like, why can't I hear me? Yeah, good morning, guys. Happy Tuesday. Hope you guys are ready for probably another healthcare stock going crazy. Yesterday, at the end of the day, we had ICCM, which is on SSR right now. Overnight, it dropped over half. And the main thing is it had some pretty strong news. So I'm gonna look on the year chart. This has been downtrending for a while. It has had some pop. Here's one for like 7 million, up to about 3. Well, if we take this back to the 2-year chart, the highest this has been in 2 years is like $12. In the pre-market yesterday, we went up to $11.80. So the reason that we had such a strong reaction from the news, where this went up about 1,200%, is because they pretty much said they had the cure for a disease. And we know how when a company comes out with the alleged cure for cancer, or they found like a new way to split a cell or regenerate life itself and stuff like that, there's a lot of hype that comes in because some people are there to actually invest in the research. Most people are actually there just to invest because they know other people are going to flock to it. Well, when you go up that fast, there's no way that's sustainable. And what this jumped off of was the cure for a kidney tumor. And with a 90% reoccurrence free rate, they pretty much said they have the cure for kidney tumor. So that's why this had so much hype. I don't know what the current developments are, but it didn't hold overnight. But the main thing is that's still some strong news. So some people might be slow to catch on to whatever happened later. So when this pulled back, just because we saw a large spike on Cosmo, COSM, and then it spiked in the morning and then did an offering. which barely did anything like at first, but slowly it turned into a downtrend for the next day. But it kind of waited till the after hours for that. Before that, it was kind of a slow grind the whole day. Not your normal offering. So if anything, like if an offering comes out, like this one was, I think it was like 25 million or like barely 30. It didn't put a dent like right away. Normally, when you have an offering comes out, the profit margin increases and the effects are immediate. And then there's also like a fading effect to it. You didn't get that as like in detail yesterday from COSM. So I assumed that maybe the new hype had something to do with like reverse splits or healthcare stock that, you know, everyone's just going to be super excited to buy anything related to COSM. And I thought ICCM was going to be the new one because, again, that's a really strong news. And so I think everyone was trying to make this the new COSM, which people were trying to make this previous COSM HKD. And it goes back and forth and stuff like that. But right now, ICCM, it pulled back over half its gains. It's not tradable anymore because the momentum's out of the stock. And now it did have strong news, and it's technically still up 200% compared to its close, which is in compliance with like NASDAQ, stuff like that. And it's on the verge of having a crowded pre-market. Like I consider crowded pre-market like 15 million plus. Because if you're going like 150 million estimate on the day, that's pretty crowded. Like 150 million plus. And since this is on SSR, healthcare, I don't know if it's biotech. No, it's just healthcare, medical devices. I still think this can run. Like the market cap's small enough. The float, it's there. We don't have to really worry about institutional ownership stuff with healthcare because they're all just trying to fund their research. I just don't know if when the company does an offering or they try to take out the money that they raised for their research right away, I don't know if they already pulled the plug yesterday. It was like this overnight gap down and then the large fade like that. I can't tell if that was like a natural fade or if that was actually the company saying that's all we need. And now this is dead. And now you just have the leftover people there. Yeah. But for now, we also have VRNA. So VRNA, that has too much for like large market cap. And this one had a promotion of its results. They were positive results. So this stock is up only 30%. Thought it was closer to 40 before. Okay. Yeah, but it went up to $40 in the pre-market. And so again, we're having a lot of things lately just spike in the pre-market. There were a lot of tickers that okay, so there was a ticker yesterday that spiked in the pre-market and then it just faded the entire day. It was also a reverse split. I think I put it in the watch list. It was AT&F. The main thing is we're trying to find the new hype, like the new thing before it shifts. The previous thing, we just know it has something to do with either reverse splits or healthcare stock. We're probably still in the healthcare stock trend right now, but I just want to make sure we're off of the reverse split trend.
Morning. Yeah, but see how this one, it did a split, went to $25, or went to 25 cents, and then they pushed it up with no volume, like very little volume, up to about 5, and then it did a morning push, probably like 10, maybe 15%, and then faded the rest of the day. It's been a while since we saw that kind of action. So I can't tell if this is like the start of a new shift, where people either come in like, hmm, like I was still heads or tails on this because they're in a lot of debt, so I couldn't tell if it couldn't rally enough people to actually keep this afloat, because the volume on this was pretty low too. But then you have stuff like ICCM where this went up 15 or 1,200% only on 5 million volume. But 5 million volume in pre-market is a lot stronger than the 5 million in intraday for ATNF. So there's so many questions. Oh, it was only 1 million. Yeah, but for now, we see nothing that's tradable. The VRNA that I was talking about, even though this did go up in the pre-market to about 40, and it's still up about like 30%, which is why I looked at it at the first place, because I thought, oh, maybe I can get like a pre-market breakout thing like that. That dream is dead because the market cap is close to $1 billion. Getting $1 billion in a short amount of time on just positive data, if it isn't the cure for cancer or the cure for the liver, what was it again? The kidney tumor. We're not getting any moves like that. So again, we're just gonna be wait until the market opens, see what's being offered. We can spend this time looking for future bounce short, probably a month or two from now, and then comprise a list and put it in the watch. That actually. Good morning. You guys aren't missing much. They're really high price. It's a micro float with a micro cap. Nah, we're not touching that. No. Look at that. It says it goes up to 800. I know there's probably like a split or something. Yeah, 1 to 40 reverse split. And then they already did their offering like 2 weeks ago. Oh, we also had SMMT that made a new high. You remember last week and a little bit of Friday before that, we were looking for that offering from SMMT, and it spent the whole week pretty much going sideways. Well, we got a new high yesterday. So this went up to 5.4. The market cap on this now is huge. Remember, they had 500 million from the company that was trying to merge with them, or was it a buy of them? Okay, here we go. Yeah, they partnered with a queso. A queso. Yeah, I'm not gonna butcher it. Okay, I kind of already did, but yeah, they partnered with someone. They had a agreement, which, if you get money like a down payment or agreement down, that shows a fundamental change. And now this is, better from the ground up. A lot of this market cap is actually going to stay. But remember, it's still a healthcare stock. Even though they were given a lot of this money, most of it's going to disappear. It's just compared to where it started, it's going to be a lot better off. So when this drops, I can see it drop to about like 2. But before that, we might need it to go to 10. And yesterday we had it go up to 5. Now it gave back half the gain that it made. So it's kind of in a similar position to the things we've been seeing recently, which is it lost half its gains. So it's hitting a natural support. And there we go. That comes from the 50% principle. It pretty much talks about correction in the market, like natural parts of a trend. So maybe this can be the bottom before, it does another test of that high or break of that high. And when we want to break, we want a full break this time. We don't want the partial breaks that take several days like we had before. Like, because right now it's equivalent to a fake out, and it's sitting on top of that support that it created at like 4. So that this is pretty much getting bottom from, or gaining or collecting. There we go. Developing volume from the bottom up. So the neutralized area is now around like upper 3. So we have to distance ourselves from this, because like this is pretty much the profit point. Like you can't get past that point. This is a lot of support. And the only way to crack that is if it actually did do the offer. But why would they do the offering like right away? I think they'll actually bait someone first into either a morning push or even a parabolic. So we don't know when that offering is going to come. But when it does, we'll be ready. Chase. Good morning. Do you mainly short? Yes. Yes. The whole chat room mainly short. I do want to go long though, because shorts have been getting hammered this entire month, especially from healthcare stocks. Like healthcare stocks, they're not my friend right now. If I go long, they might be my friend. because the only reason I don't long like crazy, similar to what I did last October, where I made like 22K, making 5 trades in 1 month, just longing. I think it was like one short in between. Is because I was trying to be disciplined and only focus on one side, which is short, which is what everyone is focused on. But it's my discipline is not paying off. I don't think a lot of it is being reasonable right now. The market doesn't care about my feelings. Since when? Oh. They go get my emotional kitty. He's been scratching at the door, trying to get in so he can watch a cartoon. Or not cartoons, bird. All right, so we see I at SIN. I remember this ticker being up. Doesn't have any volume right now, but it's good just to check if it might turn into anything. Cool, I'm mainly short. Yep, I burned myself yesterday. I'm laughing with you. What'd you burn yourself on? Was it Cosmo? Because I've been seeing a lot of people on Twitter, like way too many. They think it's going to 60, 100, 1,000, everything in between. It was not pretty for them. Like the loss porn or like the losses they would show, it's pretty intense. Like some of the people that got caught in the error, they'll put in like 5K and be down like closer to like 75 by accidentally shorting. It's real scary. But in the meantime, we're just going to study and wait for something to pop up that's ideal. This is these kind of seasons, you know, the ones where they're completely dead for a month or two, or the ones where there's a lot of plays, but none of them are ideal. These are the moments where you have to have the most discipline, because when people get back to the front of the next cycle, they're going to be really aggressive. And when they come in, your job is to figure out how much you're willing to risk so you can just like make sure to stay a part of the trend, but then wait for your actual ideal tactical position, like, you know, a patient one, and then start maximizing your profit. You're trying to maximize every winning position. But right now, I'm just maximizing, like, getting my tail kicked in by these healthcare stocks. And apparently TZ wants to help or jump in because it's not working. BYSI. Check it out. One second. See if this has anything. Wait, all of this is under $1. What am I doing? Hi, it appears you're trying to make money. Can I help you by increasing your borrow fees by 500%? Wow, you must work for TZ. That sounds fabulous. Proceed. Whoa, that's a lot of green days. I understand why you were shorted. I saw something, actually, it was probably ISTC. what? I saw something with a lot of green days. Why is it just let it be great? Go back to this. All right, so yeah, this thing was on its 7th green day, and it had a lot more volume yesterday. No, it had a lot more volume Friday. But then over the weekend, it must have lost momentum. So yeah, the volume was pretty low that entire day. Yeah, I can see how he first morning. So let's take this 2-month chart, 15-minute candle, zoom in. So this is a slow grind, and this slow grind, especially the first 3 days, it kind of says that this is going to slow grind the rest of the multi-day run. Now, these 2 days where, you had clear, I can't tell if this is a short squeeze or maybe like a positive news or something around this time. Oh yeah, market cap looks good. The biotech, so it's bullish. Float, it's looking good. Ownership, good. Non-small sell. Okay, so they at least put out some positive data, and it looks like for more than one disease. The headline doesn't give me much, but it's definitely enough to like cause some kind of positive reaction, especially if we're a part of the hype for healthcare sector in general, like secular trend. Now, remember COSM being also a healthcare sector when that popped off. This had sympathy play. The 16th was a day where COSM popped off. Yesterday was a day where a lot of that hype from the weekend probably built up and it went into this tick. So that's probably what these spikes are. It's just those people that were pretty greedy. Now, when it didn't fall, I feel like that has something to do with more of its steady recent price action. I don't know what the borrows were for it. But the main thing is, this is a cheap stock. It's way under $3. And the Friday, which had the most volume, that probably actually came from the hype around COSM. Now, remember, COSM, most of its hype actually came in the later half of the day. So that kind of throws that theory out of the window a little bit. All I know is I wouldn't have traded just because I saw the slow grind. And if I did see the gap going from 150 up to about 250, 75 cents will put you at 50%. And if I do anything with this on the multi-day run, I'd be looking for at least 70%. So yeah, that's the year. Yeah, now I want to touch it. Well, I'm trying to think of a time where I think it would be okay, other than just, obvious uh overextension or just a lot of volume being accumulated in a consolidation. I tried using all the volume around Friday VWAP as resistance and it just blew through it. Oh, so you probably shorted in the pre-market or like right at the open and okay, this candle could have been like you right here. Probably risking the high of yesterday plus some change, probably like 2-3%. And then this is where all those shorts, a little bit from here and a little bit from there, they all got squeezed. And then you could have even just been playing off the squeeze. Probably went up here. They had another one, and then most people got shook out. Came back down. Yeah. At this point, I already would have left for the day because that's the morning right there. So lunchtime, people left, went sideways, consolidated. Volume died down a lot. And it didn't even fade, which is a bullish thing. Because the price didn't go down. Well, it's cheap. So with these cheap stocks, you have to have volume build in a very specific way or it's going to be hard to fall. And, compared to this day where the volume came in at such a fast rate, like went from like low liquidity to high liquidity. And, it's a little harder to sustain that amount of momentum. And so there's bound to be a pullback. But this one just went sideways the whole day, just revealing that it just has that kind of nature or like that kind of price action, like theme for it. This day kind of had a really weak first 30 minutes, picked up, which was probably a squeeze. And then the next squeeze, it looked like it was just a very small continuation of what happened before. But like, again, volume just died. At least it actually pulled back this time. I think it'd be easier to see on the hour candle. Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't have. Yeah, yeah no, I wouldn't have done it because it's like looking at the history. It does have that individual resistance of like 24, but that's not until like 4. And then the lower one, that's not until 3. Everything else isn't worth it to go through. But it all goes back to those first 3 days. And you saw that slow grind. Like the volume stopped increasing, which, if this day was a flat day and like took just went sideways, like barely green, I could kind of see myself getting caught there. But no, this is a steady uptrend the whole way. Like we don't have many trapped people. Well, of course that's in hindsight. Like at the time, I'd probably just be jumping for joy. I'm just like, hey, there's something to trade. Short at first big spike. Eileen, thanks. I'm just smiling wait. The punk retracted a message. I can only imagine what it said. Everything I'm imagining, I'm imagining makes me laugh. So thank you. Am I really gonna have to bring up the dancing ladies again on Twitter? Like I see ICCM is gathering volume. You know how dollar block only works on certain plays? Yeah. ICCM. I don't think this is one of them. Oh, time to steal with Steven saying that. Okay. So he wants a pop up right about here. Now, I can't tell why though. Okay, I can kind of tell why. Because there's a. But the thing is, like, the whole parabolic from yesterday, it was a 5 million volume spike. And if this is a consolidation and we try to keep it like pretty tight, that would be like top of this sideways run. But with intraday resistance and aftermarket resistance, they're a lot less reliable than intraday resistance from the previous day. How do I say this? So activity is fluid, and you can have historic activity, and then you have daily activity. Historic activity, you want to make sure it's higher than the daily activity, like the current activity. This is definitely active. But if this goes back up to 7, probably even well, once you pulled back half, you already killed the momentum. So I don't even know if it can go back up to 12. If it does, it's probably going higher than 12. So this is recent. Just thinking like high activity, high liquidity, to like low pre-market that could potentially get into high activity for the morning, because that's where just in general, on any ticker, where the activity is the highest. So at that peak, it would fail in comparison to the peak of just the pre-market or just the aftermarket of the previous historic activity, if that makes sense. Like we're just going from high to low. Main thing is we just want to have places to have risk management from. And if we take the top, that's a lot riskier and a lot less unlikely. But in the meantime, we could also just not trade, go study, and prepare for Christmas in 5 days. In my case, I'll just start making more content. I'm actually going to start doing some shorts. So I need to figure out what to put down. Right now, I don't see any plays popping up anytime soon. The market's about to open. If I don't see anything in the first 15 minutes, I'm going to head out. That'll be my hour for the day. I still have a few things to take care of. But in the meantime, I'd like to remind everyone that we have a virtual conference coming up in February, and tickets, pre-sale on tickets ends January 1st. Also, right now there's a Christmas sale, and I think that one ends the day after Christmas, but I'm actually not too sure. But you can check out what it looks like in the link in the description. Now, I can't tell if I'm missing anything, so someone just yell out in the chat if you see something that I'm missing. I keep getting happy when I see there's a whole line of red here in my watch list. I see the green one. I'm about to pull it up, and then I look over here at the volume, and it's in the 100. Then I just feel offended. Let's see what comes out. This is way big. So with BKTX, first I didn't look, but I won't write it off yet. Yeah, didn't look. Okay. This one, Muhammad was calling it out yesterday, saying that he wanted to short around 6. And Look at that, 4 million volume already. Crazy. We're 2 minutes in. But what am I saying? Yeah, this VKTX. This technically within a year doesn't have overhead resistance. But if you go back 2 years, it has a massive, consistent resistance. And you've probably noticed this year, a lot of canceled individual resistances still have an effect on the psychology. So if it's big enough, you still have to prepare for it a little bit because people are using it in their risk management. And that's what it is at the end of the day. Like humans buying and selling based off of what they see and observe. And then, you're going off of a beginner's thesis, advanced person's thesis, and just overall hypothesis. And just trying to put some, consistency in. I don't know how long this is going to take for ICCM to go up to 7, but it's possible. Not only is it a biotech on SSR with crowded volume, which, with a crowded volume ticker, you can see exaggerated move, like either just a straight drop or a straight spike up. We know this one looks closer to going straight up right now. So we also understand that since this is up over 200%, just looking like the people that just found out about this ticker today, they're probably not going to be as inclined to look at it. But as soon as they look at how high it went the previous day, they probably have a different perspective. So they'll be chasing the stars. Now, I don't know if a short would actually go on this because I want to start talking about short squeeze. I think it would come down to the borrow because the cap on this is pretty high, if I remember. Oh, no, it's actually really low. What was the one that had 900 then? Oh, that's VRNA. Okay, we're already breaking 4. Or at least kissing it. All right, so ICCM, this is the first healthcare stock in like 2-3 weeks that I haven't seen under 5 cents. So I think this is a good sign. But the main thing is not only is TZ a crook, but also the second main thing is when this borrow fee goes up like it just did from 9 cents to 40 cents, that shows that this has become harder to borrow. Or actually, since it's flickering back and forth, I can't actually tell if this is just one of those glitch mind games that's being played by TZ's algo. Now, I'm going to say it's an algo or some type of bot that's doing that. But no, that's actually real. It was just in transition. Yeah. Now they're 40 cents. Now, remember, it's not worth it to pay more than like 15% of whatever the stock price is on these lower price tickers, because you have to get a lot of shares. Like if you're getting something that's $2, you're going to be getting like thousands of shares. Getting something like $5, it's going to be like lower, but still just as bad. By the time this actually does get up to 7, assuming we have like a mole in the chat room. And we know about you. The borrows might even triple. And by that time, that 10 million is going to be gone. We're only assuming that 2 million was ready to be borrowed at the open anyway. Since it's a cheap stock, maybe someone could have bought it before, but it doesn't look like it. Unless, nah, couldn't be. All right, so we don't see anything new popping up, which is really what I wanted to happen. Because even if this does do like 2-3 squeezes by like 10:30, like in the morning rush, like the first half hour and the second half hour, I'd still want a consolidation at this point, like around the 6. Because the main thing is, if it does go up to 7, we know that momentum has been killed because it already went down half its previous spike. But whether this is closer to a bounce short or a gap up short, I feel like it's actually closer to a gap up, because this isn't a solid resistance to like risk off of. It's not dense. It doesn't even have a lot of volume, but it's scary. So it has a fluid, like going through mud, like a stick through mud. If the spike, especially on like a 15-minute candle or a 13-minute candle, I said 13 minutes, 30-minute candle. If we're just trying to track momentum on this, or even just volume's already way larger than, if we're going to call this a resistance. Yeah, it's way larger than the resistance. So we'd have to just factor in the momentum being killed. So it's way closer to a gap up short. But that's just my logic. I kind of want to see what Steven. He says, better luck tomorrow. Dollar block bounce short gap up. Oh, okay. He's saying there's nothing ideal inside of all these healthcare stocks. All right, guys. I think it's time for me to head out. I don't see anything popping up. That's not a healthcare stock that's going to go crazy or has an extremely high market cap. So I'll see you guys Wednesday. Peace. Oh, damn, bro. What? Yeah. Damn, bro. The 13-minute candle almost got me tripping. Later.